Good morning, everybody. This is Super Mike 2164. I just want to have a small conversation. There's a lot going on in the world today, and I do want to talk about a few things. What's going on, everybody? I just wanted to come here. It's a little early today, and I want to talk about a few things. I mean, I just wanted to touch on our perception of power. We had a good conversation a few days ago on the Brother BMT's channel, talking about jokes, old stuff that we already dealt with, and I don't really want to rehash the original incident, but it's an overall principle that I'm looking at: the power of speaking out, speaking up against injustice and wrong. There should be some things in society that's sacred. Otherwise you destroy yourself. Your culture is self-destructive. If you have a culture that is not sustainable, then your society is, as we know, this society is doomed to fail. That's what's going on now. I mean, everybody doesn't have to fail in the society, but some people are going to have to get it together. Those who don't want to understand what's going on, they are going to become increasingly more dangerous to others and themselves, and they're going to become more destructive. That's what's going to happen. So let's look at this here. I just want to kind of go over some of this. As we're aware, I think it's been in the news all over the place. It's been in the news for the past few days. Joe Rogan, who is a content creator, he's a UFC organizer. I guess he owns the UFC. I'm not sure. But this guy, he's basically made negative statements about black people. He's been making very inflammatory statements, racist type statements, and all that kind of thing. All right, so now he's made some good statements as well that I do agree with, but because he's being attacked in the media, it's like, okay, this man is he's making some good statements about the jab and about the mass deception of this pandemic, this genocidal kind of system, and this plot that's being put into overdrive. But I'm not going to defend somebody who's putting out trash, especially when they won't apologize for the trash that they put out. But I want to focus on what is it that, why do some people, especially black people, but people in general, but especially black people, we have this loyalty to try to defend. Out of one side of our mouth, we talk about the dysfunction in the community and how we don't want these degenerate sorts of behaviors to be put upon us and to be making us look bad as individuals because we are part of a society like Americans, or we have the same skin color or what have you. But at the same time, we defend people who make sick, disgusting jokes. And we want to make that kind of climate normalize that type of climate. You know, when you don't have sacred cows, what's called sacredness, you know, this is off limits, that's off limits. This is not funny, that's not funny. When you don't have that, and everything has to be legislated in a court of law, you know, some things are just normal decency, human decency. And it doesn't take a court of law to control. It just gets controlled by people speaking out and saying what's correct and saying what's right and what's wrong. So you got UFC champ Israel Adesanya. He defends Joe Rogan. Okay. Now, just because this man is your friend, you can still be friends if you're a real friend. But if this man says some racist stuff, he said some bad stuff, evil stuff, why are you defending racism, evil, and bad? I don't need to say anything, dude. You made that bed, sleep in it. UFC champion Israel Adesanya riled up the crowd at the UFC 271 press conference Thursday ahead of his fight against Robert Whittaker, in which he hopes to defend his middleweight championship. Adesanya expressed support for UFC commentator Joe Rogan, who won't be calling the fight due to scheduling conflict. Rogan has been under fire after a compilation video surfaced of him using the N-word amid allegations he spread misinformation on his Spotify-hosted podcast. Okay, so they want to tie the N-word to misinformation that he spread, but maybe the information that he spread wasn't misinformation. Maybe it was true. Maybe because the media, the mainstream media, has been calling a lot of misinformation, which is true. Okay, truth, misinformation. So maybe I say I would not defend the N-word. I'm going to defend the truth that he said. But I'm not standing with somebody who makes racist jokes. Why would I do that as a black person? I'm not going to defend racist jokes. I don't want that normalized. I don't want people running around spewing racist jokes. Now, I can't stop them from spewing racist jokes. They're going to do it if they want to. But I don't want it. So if they say racist jokes, I'm going to say I'm not with that. And that's it. The world's going to keep turning. That's how you work your power. Okay? The champ, so says, the champ offered his remarks at the UFC after UFC President Dana White asked about Rogan. First off, let me take this one. Hold up, I'm black. You see how that was very coonish for him to say. First off, let me take this one. He stepped up trying to use his black card to defend racism from a white guy. That was extremely off code. You just opened the door for racism to your entire black community. Why would you do that? You see what I'm saying? That's trash. And we're gonna see some more trash later on. And we're gonna see a good example of how you take trash out. Verbally. That's all. This is just words. You see? Now when people you respond to words with words. When people step up the game and turn words into something else, then that's how you respond. That's all it is. This man says, "Let me take this one. I'm black. I can take this one." Adesanya said, "Look, there's a lot of coons in the game." I guess that's what he wants to say. There's a lot of snakes in this game. I've been in this fight game since 2008. Okay, so what does that have to do with this man saying the N word? Joe Rogan is one of the nicest, coolest, humblest mother effers I've ever had the pleasure of working with. Understand that. Fuck the noise. You know what they're trying to do. You can't control the man. He's got the biggest platform in the world right now. That's my nigga. Now listen, this is what they did with Bill Clinton. This is a black man calling a racist joke from a white man, calling this white man his N-word. Joe Rogan doesn't want to be an N-word. And you stupid enough, you want to be the N-word, but that's a dysfunction that we got to work on in our community. You know, we like using that word around white people because we think that makes us cool with them and it invites them to be cool with us. But then they don't. That word doesn't have the same effect on them as it has on you. It isolates you. It makes you look stupid. But them, it makes them just be able to, express their internal racist desires to talk. And if they was really your friend, they wouldn't really even be using that word around you too much. They know the history of it. If they was really your friend, they wouldn't really have such a desire and a burning angst to want to use that word. Because that word is tied to slavery, oppression, and dehumanizing. Especially coming from white people. And that's just the history. So this man, black man, fuck the noise. You know what they're trying to do. You can't control the man. He has the biggest platform in the world right now. That's my nigga. Joe Rogan. Fuck the noise. Just keep doing you, Joe. Even reading that is just, this man's like a cheerleader in bussified shorts. That's a damn shame. That made this man look very, very weak. I don't care how many people you can beat up. If your mind is weak, you're not a man. We are living in very strange times, Adesanya wrote, adding several sheep emojis to the end of his post. When a voice speaks out against the mainstream narrative, the establishment have a systematic way of shutting said voice down. I'm not asking you to think like me. I encourage you to turn off your TV and think for yourself. Don't let them pull the wool over your eyes. Hold on. That might be true. Like I said, I might agree with some of Joe Rogan's stuff on the jab and some of the mainstream stuff, but there's a range of conversation that we got to tolerate. We can't tolerate certain stuff. And then if he says something that is racist, it's his right to say. But guess what? I'm not defending it. I don't care if I was kind of cool with some of what you said. I'm not going to defend your racist statements and your racist thoughts. I can't police them, but I'm not defending you. I'll when you say something that I agree with, I will say that I agree with that. I'm somebody, I don't really believe in what do you call that, all this political correctness. But if that's what you really want to say, yeah, I don't agree with people putting laws against you to stop you. But I'm going to speak against the part that I don't agree with. And this is the problem. This is the power that people don't understand. You don't just let people just go around spewing trash, throwing trash on your community, on your name. What's going on, everybody? Press the thumbs up button. Let me play something here. This is part of what I'm talking about here. I don't even want to play this joke. But keep in mind, guys, this is going to be extremely offensive here. I'm not with this joke, but I want to play this as an example of what folks out here would like to make normalized. So, like I said, black men, we look very weak defending evil. But let's listen. Wow. Now, this guy here, hold on.
I think stand-ups.
Hold on. Let me see something. Listen to this.
The person in the room, we almost get up and articulate what maybe the room is thinking or hoping, or an idea that they hadn't thought of. It's like we're very real. We have to be very rooted, which is the trouble if you get successful, because you suddenly lose a connection with people.
I don't think.
All right, so this man, he's talking about being rude. This is a comedy club. Obviously, it's somewhere in England somewhere. They're sitting around here. Looks like they're making these type of jokes.
That would affect my act in one.
No, because he said why it wouldn't affect your act. Why?
I said because people will always rape.
It wouldn't affect your act because the biggest people will always rape. So rape jokes. Okay. Like I said, I don't stand with that kind of commentary. I don't stand with that kind of commentary. That's kind of sick. And so now the thing is this here. And we're going to go over here a little bit more. He said rape jokes. This man, the biggest people will always rape. So these guys, they run around, they're making rape jokes. Now, now let's say one of these guys was my friend. Am I going to sit up here and defend a rape joke?
It's the trouble if you get successful, because you suddenly lose a connection with people.
I don't think that would affect my act in one.
No, because he said why it wouldn't affect your act. Why?
I said because people will always rape.
And keep in mind, guys, this is fair use under the Copyright Act of 1976, Section 107, fair use. And we're just doing commentary on this. But I want to show this here because this is what is out here. Now, if you defend this as a black person, if you defend this stuff, you're defending when you defend something, you actually normalize it. You start to normalize it. Hold on. It's more. Now that wasn't a big deal. He said a rape joke, right? We wasn't even too paused by that because it's normalized over here in the United States. That's okay. That's not a big deal, Michael.
I have a bit for you that I want to tell you because I've never been able to use it because it just doesn't suit my act.
Oh, great. Okay, go on.
I want to give you a joke.
Yeah, done. Thanks.
I'm not going to do it now.
Do it now.
I often get this with
people
comics
do it to me.
in Montreal or at Edinburgh.
they
When you're
go,
around
"I
comics,
couldn't say
they come
this."
up, they say,
When you
"Listen, I wrote this joke about raping a baby."
Okay, we see that, right? They wrote this joke about raping a baby. I can't do it. He's going to say, I can't do it, but maybe you can. You see, they know that there's a consequence. There's a consequence to this disgusting, sick type, because normal, peace-loving people don't want that. But if you defend this, there you go. Now, should it be illegal for them to say these things in any situation somewhere? If these type of people really, really, really want to say this stuff, they're going to say it. But I don't agree with giving them a big, giant platform to normalize it. And then if it is said, I believe in speaking against it. This is what we need to understand. I don't even want to hear the rest of that because I don't. This is another one. This is a part here that we got to really look at.
See, my act is not that bad.
What is
the last 15 minutes?
What is the most offensive joke that you've ever written?
If only Africa had more mosquito nets, then every year we could save millions of mosquitoes from dying needlessly of AIDS.
Listen to the laughter. Wow. Look at who's there laughing. Let's look at that one again. This is the most offensive joke, not the baby raping.
That bad?
What is
the last 15 minutes?
What is the most offensive joke that you've ever written?
If only Africa had more mosquito nets, then every year we could save millions of mosquitoes from dying needlessly of AIDS.
This is the laughter. Look at it. Wow. So what is this man saying? I'm going to play that one more time. I just want to.
Is the most offensive joke that you've ever written?
If only Africa had more mosquito nets, then every year we could save millions of mosquitoes from dying needlessly of AIDS.
That's the kind of jokes they like. That kind of stuff there. This is what these people want. Now, when somebody says in rape culture, in rape jokes, those type of folks, now you can't end them. Now, I don't necessarily you can say you can end it. The way you end it is you just speak against it. But I just want to put this stuff out here for people. This is what you do. You don't sit there and allow crap like that to happen. And then, of course, this is supposed to be liberal. I'm not going to community outreach, teaching rape jokes aren't okay, how hurtful they can be. How as a society we need to stop them, All right, so people are making rape jokes. I agree with it. Shouldn't make that kind of joke. Why are you joking like that? That's disgusting. But this is what they do. What did Dwayne Johnson do when he heard Joe Rogan's N-word? He said he wasn't aware of Joe Rogan's N-word use prior to defending him. So Dwayne Johnson smartly, he stepped aside. I'm not defending this dude talking about black people like that. Dwayne Johnson's not going to defend that. India Ari calls Joe Rogan consciously racist. That's what you're supposed to do. Step out, stand against it. What happened when Whoopi said something that the Jewish people didn't like? Whoopi Goldberg apologizes after saying the Holocaust isn't about race on The View. Now, I happen to think Whoopi was correct. Whoopi Goldberg made a correct statement. 100% of her statement at that time was correct. But what did the Jewish people do? They didn't agree with it. They don't hate Whoopi, but they called Whoopi out. They punished Whoopi. They did not stand with Whoopi when she made that statement. But they don't hate Whoopi. Okay? So I just want black people to understand, like, don't stand with people just if they're your friend. You don't stand with people just because, even if they said something wrong and they're your friend, don't stand with them on that crap.
Among those associated with,
Hold on, I want to show you.
He said some things that some.
Now, we had a conversation on BMT's channel, and I think Information Man did a really good job at calling out. We have some people in our community that enjoy defending racist, rape type commentary from those outside of our community. And what these ignorant people don't understand is when you defend that kind of stuff, then what you're doing is you're normalizing it and you're setting it up to where other people can go. You're number one, you're increasing that. You're saying that you're not going to respond when further measures are done. And I think that, Information Man and, some of us, we did a decent job at just at least letting people know, like, if you're going to be out there defending racist commentary, you're going to be defending rape jokes of with children and all that kind of thing, you're going to have a response. We're going to let you know that it's going to be a response. And if you step up the game on that level, you're going to have people that put you right in, that that stands against you. And that's what this does.
Some of us didn't like, maybe others didn't care, but there are certainly people who didn't appreciate what he said. And it does border, when I listen to that video, a lot of it does border on the supremacy type attitudes. Not to mention that Mr. Trailer is a 3%er, and I understand what a 3%er is, the racism that they project, their Proud Boy ways. Okay, but at the end of the day, he was talking about black children, and we should not tolerate other people talking about our community who are not a part of our community when they have fuckery. White people have fuckery in their community, so they should worry about taking care of their community. I don't sit up here talking about what I'm going to do to help the fuckery of white people. I'm here to deal with the issues around black people, how I can make my community better through my children and through the things that I do, BMT. So therefore, everybody who had a problem with what he was saying, we were well within our right to have criticism of what this man was saying, because he said some things that were sexual, not to mention there was some sexual things that was being said, and you should not be doing that as a grown man, saying sexual things about minor children. That's sick. And I know what sickness is, BMT, because I deal with people. You're not even getting up, brother. You can't hang with my equipment. You can't hang with what I got jumping off here. So shut your ass up. And I laugh at you just like that. Again, you can't fuck with me at all, Trey. You're insignificant on YouTube. I'm significant. You're insignificant, Negro. Now, as I was saying, yeah, that's what I said, brother. You got a problem with what I said? There you go. There go the sound effects for your ass too. Now, so BMT, as I was saying, BMT, when someone from another community calls us out in a negative way, and then they put sexual stuff in there as it relates to minor children, BMT, that's where the line has to be crossed, because they were getting into sexual stuff that was inappropriate. And I think that's what really triggered people, along with the fact that he was talking about black children. Now, it ain't my job to critique his community. It's not my job to check what he does with his children. That's for white folks to deal with their community and check whatever's happening in their community, because they'll be the same ones, and just like coon ass Negroes, that will tell black people that we got to do better in our community, right? So therefore,
criminal.
Therefore, we don't need white men who come on our panels. I don't even know why we invite white people on our panels that are like that to hang out with us. And while they're hanging out with us, they got all these other views and attitudes about us. And then they're doing videos.
Well, you see how rude these guys are. They're talking at the same time because this is the childish stuff that these guys out here defending this white man who have made a certain type of so-called joke that was against black people, and it was against children, and it was sexual in nature. This is the kind of stuff that this guy made, and this was a white guy who made that joke. But then they want to, these are black men defending him being able to talk like that about black people and about children and stuff. This is the kind of black people, so-called black people, that we have out here. And it's the same thing with the Joe Rogan effect. There's something in the black people that wants to step out there when they see white folks having to take accountability. This is a big word that we use a lot of times, accountability. This is what it is. When you did something that was wrong and somebody is about to hold you accountable, this is what it is. But there's some black people that don't want to see consequences for a person with white skin. And these are very small consequences. All it is talking. All we're doing is setting the standard. We're setting standards. Okay? That's what it is. And I encourage all black people, you have the power to set the standard. Just with your voice. You stand out, you let it be known. No, hell no. Nope, it don't matter how many people agree with said bullshit behavior. No, we don't tolerate the racism talk. Even if I am your so-called friend, I'm just not going to stand with your racism talk, bro. You got to stop the racism talk. You got to stop the rape talk. You got to stop the, you know what I mean? If that's your friend, right? We're not sitting here defending no racism and rape talk. Let's see how Information Man handles this guy. And I'm more concerned with the black response to this stuff.
Where they're talking about children and then putting sexual innuendo into it. That's sick. And any black man, any man on YouTube who thinks that that's okay, BMT, that they can make justify that, they are sick themselves. And I deal with sick men in the prison system who have a propensity for this type of stuff, and they are sick, and you cannot treat them. It cannot be treated. It is a problem. So with that said, that's all I really wanted to say. I did not come up here to argue with the insignificant peanut gallery up here, but to talk to men, black men who are sensible, have their head on right, and for the peanut gallery who doesn't like what I'm saying, and you want to talk shit, guess what? You know where you can find me. I don't give a damn about you, because see, on YouTube, I show my face. You know what I look like, so come get it, sucker Trey. You hide behind avatars. You use a dog, the lowest animal on the earth, as your avatar. And you want to come at me because I'm saying as a black man, we should not tolerate white men who get on YouTube talking shit like that with kids being put into it, innocent kids, and all that sort of stuff. So, Trey, you can suck a dick and anything else you want to do. Cause you can't match me, brother. You can't match anything I'm about. You can't match anything that I do. You're nothing but a troll, Trey. And most of the people that run with you and run with your channel and channels like you have nothing but troll. Negroes who get on YouTube and they troll. You talk shit about people, but you never do any goddamn thing yourself. You're a fucking troll. You just came up here on BMT's channel to cause a disruption when the brother is doing a show. He shows you his worth. He's a family man, and he's examining this bullshit. We should not accept any man, black, white, or any race, who is talking about children in the way that he was, and then putting sexual stuff into it. Oh my God, suckers. Suckers, yeah. Oh my God. Now, with that said, I'm getting ready to leave BMT because I know they'll be happy when I'm gone. I'm leaving because I can't be on panels with. Let me see. You got Super Mike 2064. I respect him. I respect you. B. It's a couple of cats on here. Renaissance Man, I respect. But you got Trey up here, who I have no respect for, because all he does is go around trolling on people's panels, talking shit, talking loud, talking big and bag, but he ain't shit. And I called you out right now, brother. You know where you can find me. You know where my channel is. I show myself. I'm not like you. I don't hide behind avatars. I don't. Everybody know when I go live, you see how I get down on my goddamn channel. Now, what are you about? What are you doing? I can tell you what I do in the community. I can tell you the things I accomplish. I can tell you the young men that I've sent to college, the young men that I've mentored. I'm doing shit. I can tell you the brothers in the prison system that I've helped mentor to get out of prison. You're not doing shit. You're just one of these dudes that get on YouTube, talk a lot of shit, criticize people, got a lot to say about the black community that's negative, but ain't got shit to say positive. So therefore, it does fit you. You ain't black. You just one of these niggas that talk. You can't hang with me. You can't move with me. You can't even hang with me. You ain't even got the microphone game that I got. Your shit is garbage. I'm the man on this goddamn YouTube street. Everybody knows it. Been doing it for a long time, Trey. You can't work with me. You can't hang with me. You don't have the skills. You got a insignificant channel, and those that run with you have insignificant channels. You can't do shit about me. You can't hang with me. You ain't got the flow of the skills and the ability to flow on this goddamn microphone like me. So shut the hell up. Shut the hell up, Trey. You ain't got the ability. You don't have the equipment, the skills, the flow, the attitude, the goddamn visual effects. You ain't got nothing going for yourself. You just a nigga on YouTube who talks a lot of shit about other black people, and you're very insignificant, and you can't hang with my game. So therefore, there it is. That's the power. That's the power of the thunder. That's the power of the facts, of the power of the channel. That's the beast and the sounds that runs with the information man and the way I get down. And you can't fuck with it because I'm fucking you up right now, Trey. You ain't got the skills that I got, baby. You ain't got the ability I got. You ain't got the skills that I got. You ain't got nothing I got. You ain't got shit that I got to work on. And you ain't doing shit in the community, but just sitting up here talking on YouTube 24/7 a day. Do you see me on panels all the time anymore, ladies and gentlemen? No, I don't get on panels that much anymore because I don't have to. I don't have to because it's insignificant, and the conversations lead to no constructive conversation with Negroes like you who got no plan, no action, no resolve, and no solution for the problems that you complain about all the time.
So anyway, guys, I just wanted to show that. I thought that was a classic. I think that needed to be recorded. I don't know if everybody had the power that information man has in his voice to do something like that. But I'm just saying the main thing is we just stand up against, this stupid stuff, because the next step, they'll be trying to kill you, which they already are trying to, but they want to overtly kill you. And we always must remember this.
Was an African-American physician named Dr. Charles Greenlee. Greenlee had been a staunch supporter of Planned Parenthood, but became suspicious of the organization after noticing that black neighborhoods in his city were, as he described it, saturated with Planned Parenthood facilities, while nearby white neighborhoods that were just as poor did not have a single one.
In an article published by the black Muslim newspaper Mohammed Speaks, Greenlee said he had also discovered that deceptive materials were being circulated in the ghettos and delivered to the homes of black women, warning them that welfare recipients who had additional children would lose their public assistance.
So basically, like I said, they want to normalize killing a certain group of people. And that's kind of what I wanted to push this on, guys. I didn't want to make too much more on this, but that's what it is. And if we don't want to acknowledge that kind of stuff, then, it is going to be what it is. But this is what it is. So I just want to sign off to everybody. Hopefully everybody has a good day this morning. And peace out.